Christian, it's great to see you again.
Hi, Brandon. Thank you
Hey.
for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for taking the time to introduce us to Integer, to talk a little bit about what you guys have been working on as of late. In fact, let's do that if you don't mind. As a starting point, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and about Integer and just tell us who you are?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm Christian Philipp. I'm the CEO of Internet, high-class solution partner for Magento. So, yeah, what we do is, since 2012, more than 10 years. Wow, it's Magento. From day one on until today, it's all Magento.
That's amazing. Honestly, it's you guys have built quite the legacy. I know your team has grown pretty substantial. Just like many agencies, kind of in the space. But I think the projects, the quality you guys have put out, has been really good. So glad to
Yeah,
chat with you today.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, if you don't mind,
Yeah.
the biggest thing I'm proud of, or the biggest project I'm proud of, is a design bestseller. That's actually um, yeah, a client from day one on, and we were starting with 4 people. They were starting with 2 people, and now we are having 20 people. They have 75 people. So we were starting with, I don't know, it was about 20,000 bucks a month, and now they have about, I don't know, I think it's 4 million a month. So
Wow.
that's just great for them. That's great for us. Um, yeah, I mean they grew a little bit faster as we, as scaling maybe is a little easier for merchant, but scaling as an agency is always tough because where are all the developers? Getting developers is is the only bad thing about Magento.
That's amazing. To hear that they're still with you guys, right? I mean, from day one, and you've helped them grow, and you've. I mean, that says something about the quality of the relationships that you guys strive to build. So,
Yeah,
congratulations.
yeah, thank you.
That's great. Well, tell me a little bit more about Integer. What are the things that kind of drive you? I mean, what gets you excited? What do the customers look like that you're ultimately trying to serve that you want to talk about?
Mm, So to be honest, Internet was always the kind of nerdy company, the nerdy agency, let's say. So,
Okay.
we were when we started with 4 people, there were 3.5 developers of the four. So I am the one half, which is let's say project management, doing the stuff around. And the rest was, backend developers, front end developers. So that's why and actually, very well educated developers, and that's why
Yeah.
our number one priority was always high quality,
Mm.
because we had all the experience from our agencies we were working before in. They were all fast, fast, fast. A lot of things in a short amount of time, which leads to lots of errors, and you have to tell the client, not working so good, but it works if you don't look left and right. And
Yeah.
that was something that was something we really didn't like.
Yeah.
So we were never really the business-driven agency, let's say, who's
Mm.
running after every penny under each desk. We were
Yeah.
more like, helping grow, doing good stuff of which you could be proud of. This is
Yeah.
Internet actually. So I guess yeah, we're not at a stock. We would
Yeah.
probably not be good there at, but we had lots of fun in the last 10 years because it will,
Yeah.
as I said,
Yeah.
it's fun, and what we are searching for regarding our merchants is we want an eye to eye relationship, right?
Yeah.
So we cannot work with someone who thinks we are the last bit of the chain, and we just should do everything. Just give us some bread and some pizza, and that's it. No, that's
Yep.
not how we work. We want to be in the team. We want to be eye to eye, and want to help, but we
Yeah.
also, of course, uh, want the respect we deserve, because if we understand the problem from the merchant, we can help them even better. And that's what we aim to.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's there's a lot of choices out there, right, in terms of developers and agencies, and platforms for that matter. There's just a lot of choices in terms of how you look at your business goals. And so I think, your selection of Magento as a core technology lends very well to who you are as a company and how you embed yourself. And it's really, the success of that merchant is really the success of you, right? And I love how you look at that. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely.
So, speaking a little bit about IT Delight and what we've done with you guys, you obviously chose us to support you a little bit within some projects. Can we talk about that just for a little bit? Maybe what types of projects that IT Delight has helped you with, and maybe what you're, just tell me a little bit about those projects.
Let me maybe to understand why IT Delight is perfect for us. Maybe let me give you a little bit more of the context. Like I said, it's always tough to get Magento developers, but at least we get to the point of 20 developers or 20 employees in the amount running through the time. But when Corona came, when the pandemic came, the demand of some, and especially Design Bestseller, but of some other merchants as well, was skyrocketing, right? So it was, we couldn't, we could not compete with this demand. And although we were a long time, we were thinking, no, it had to be our developers. We cannot be the agency who says, yeah, okay, we have a project manager here in Germany, and we give the whole project over to some guys in India or wherever. This is not us. This would not work. And sometimes you have luck in your life, and we get to know Vlad and Igor, and it was right. They totally understood what we needed, and they totally understood how we click. They really say, okay, these guys are looking or aiming for trust and quality, our core values, and that's why they give us the possibility to do the interviews and handpick the developers. And that's the number one thing why we chose IT Delight, because we had the possibility to pick them hand by hand and to do interviews, lots and lots of them. We didn't have to do actually so much, because the developers were quite good.
That's great.
When you coming back to your initial question, what kind of projects we do with them? The cool thing is, the guys we have from IT Delight, we don't have to say, okay, this is the configurator guy. You can use him for 3D configuration, or this is the backend guy you use for interface design. No, they're good at everything. We have a very wonderful backend developer here full time. We have a wonderful front end developer full time, and we throw them just at every project. Maybe I'm not sure. I didn't mention it before. Like I said, we have a Design Bestseller since day one on, so for more than 10 years, but also other clients. We served them for a long time. That's our thing, winning a project and then serving them after the launch as long as we can. And that's sometimes tough, because if we have a project which grew within time, the first corpse is always documentation. That's dead from day one on.
It's true.
And that's why it's always tough for a new developer to onboard him or her. But with the guys from IT Delight, it was no problem. We just throw them at this project or at this project. It takes just a short amount of time, and it all works. And
That's great.
the cool thing is that the guys from IT Delight, they're part of the family,
Yeah.
and that feels good.
Oh, that's great. I mean, thanks for saying that. I, I know, having spoken with our team, I know they get really excited about the projects that they work on, right? And when they take on a project, it's as if it's their own project store, you name it. I think, it really matches that kind of core value that you have, and they enjoy just working with you on those projects and that type of thing. But I really liked what you said. I thought it was interesting too. It's you got the opportunity to, I guess, interview and select those developers that you felt like would be the best fit for both for you and for the clients that you were working on. Can you tell me about that process? And I guess just maybe what
Yeah.
stood out more to you?
Yeah, definitely. Because the thing is, being a good developer is just one part of the game. Actually, it's just one part of the story. I think I cannot say. Maybe I think we did one or two interviews at first where we thought, okay, that guy really has the talent, the ability.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's also the social fit is also very important. And as we were trying, it was like, and maybe also because we were new to the whole game, we have to, and now we are lucky we did that. But of course, for us, it was also tough because we had to switch our company language from German to English,
Yeah.
telling all the employees now, sorry guys, all the documentation or all the Slack messages in open channels have to be in English now. So pretty tough for us as well. And that's why, of course, we had to develop, we had to grow as well with with this situation. But yeah, it was really like we were getting real CVs as if we were getting yeah appliance from someone. So
Yeah.
and we could check every skill is there. But of course, we were doing an interview with Vlad and um, with a developer. Yeah, and then we could try it. Just try
Yeah.
it in a project. Do it a few hours, and see how does it work. We're also always doing code reviews, so we could check his work quite quickly. For project managers, it was of course also important. How's the communication? Do they ask? Are they waiting for tickets or for work, or do they come to us and say, "I need help"? That's all
Mm-hmm.
important. And you know, like in real life, when you hire full-time employees, it's just the same. You need a tryout phase, and yeah, IT Delight lets us do this, and
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. And if we say, okay, this is not a good fit, we get a next CV and we try it all over again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't have to do this so often. It was, I think, for the front enders, it was already number two
Yeah.
we were picking. And for the backend, I think it was number two or number three. I'm not sure. I cannot say.
Yeah.
But then, of course, like I said, after that, it was for us easy as well. No, the developers we get after them, it was sometimes also a little bit easier for us because we were saying like, okay, that guy is clicking like that because you get to know the kind of developers because I think it's okay if for saying it's partly they are from the Ukraine, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of get to know the Ukrainian mentality, which is very very hardworking, very
Really.
hardworking. Um,
That's right. I appreciate. I mean, that's it's part of what drove my interest in IT Delight. Right. Clearly, I'm not from Ukraine. I'm from the States over here,
yeah,
and focused on our Western expansion and some of the stuff we're doing in the United States and in Canada, and it's been a lot of fun because it's true. I can always count on them to be. I mean, just be super direct.
yeah,
Very very capable developers. I've worked with developers all over the world, and I think what most
mm,
people don't realize is the vast majority of what is Magento, and really I would say what is e-commerce, what built e-commerce. Boy, a lot of that came from Ukraine, and a lot of
yeah.
people don't
That's
even know that. So
that's unbelievable, is it? Yeah,
it truly is.
it really
And
is.
they and they've had some challenges, and they're kind of scattered all over the world at the moment, kind of joining the remote team efforts that we all seem to have nowadays. But
Yep.
never waver in all those projects. I've been super impressed. So I'm glad you've seen the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
So a question for you then, I guess, you've got options, right? So you could go, you could go anywhere. You could find another agency. You could, quite frankly, you just hire internally, right? I mean,
Yep.
I'm sure you'd love to have another German speaking counterpart developer sitting right in the office with you.
Yeah.
So what would make you choose IT to Light again to work with?
Well, for one hand, I mean, it's I'm CEO, so that's why I'm more or less responsible for all parts of the company.
Yeah,
And HR is a lot of work.
it's a ton of
And
work.
you know, if I have to choose to do lots of campaigns to get, a full-time developer just here right in my office with in Germany where we are looking for full-time workers, everyone's doing that. Not only we are in the IT, but everyone in every branch. And on the other hand, I have this endless pool of developers. Well, that's my experience. I don't know what's behind it, to be honest. I don't know how many employees IT Delight has. But if I say, oh, I might need someone, it takes like, I don't know, 1 hour, and then I have 5 CVs on my desk. And that's just, IT Delight makes it easy. It's
Right.
always the what's the word? Like, uh, the barrier is so low. The question
Why?
is more that you could have asked me, well, why would I not choose IT like
Yeah.
developers? That's easier.
Well, there you go. Why would you not?
Yeah,
Well,
I
and,
would.
and
It does not make sense because otherwise it does not make sense. It doesn't pay off.
that's right. Well, listen, I think you hit on it early on, right? So much is, I mean, you find great developers all over the place, but so much relies on how you work together and that synergy that you create. And we've worked together for a long time. So
Yeah,
it's safe to say that synergy's come a long way since day one. So,
yeah, definitely.
oh, that's fantastic. Well, any advice? So if we were talking to maybe other agencies that are in your shoes, and maybe merchants potentially who
Mhm.
are trying to work directly, who are struggling with some of those same type of hiring things and how they find the right agency and developers, any
Mhm.
suggestions or guidance that you would give to them as they go about making their decision?
And don't be afraid of the language barrier.
Yeah.
Of course, at first it is a big leap, right? So
Hmm.
you really have to jump over your shadow, as we say in Germany. But once you did that, you will find it all pays off, right? So if you we more or less have the same problem with some clients who also grow and they say, oh, now internet is getting really really expensive, so let's try and hire some internal developers, and most of them just we are still working together because it doesn't pay off, and it's the same when you want to hire someone from Germany and try to uh, get him from, I don't know, fancy Berlin to some small village where you accidentally have your shop in. That's it's either very expensive or it's impossible.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's even harder just than just hiring someone who does not speak the language. So um, of course, it would be great if they could speak German, but
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal. So my number one advice would be don't be afraid. They'll make it work.
I hear, in fact, so many times from a merchant perspective, in fact, I had a conversation the other day. Not no two agencies. I mean, there's challenges with some agencies out there, just like there are
Mhm.
challenges with any business. And I think what the gal that I was speaking with had talked about was how many agencies that they have tried, and that agency's not fully committed, right? They don't view themselves as part of the team,
Yeah.
and they do some work. And of course, this merchant doesn't have the ability to look at that work and say that's good code, that's bad code. Magento, you don't know Magento, and
Yeah.
that's what they're looking to hire. Any advice to those merchants that are out there listening on how they might identify the right kinds of agencies to work for or work with?
Mm. Huh. Yeah. So it's more or less the same way like I choose my clients. And I always say it's vice versa. It's not only that I choose my clients, that also they choose their solution partner, right? And it doesn't matter actually if they're from Germany, UK, USA, or Ukraine. It has to be a good fit in both directions.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think. Whew. I mean, it's tough to foresee if is this a solution partner really working in
Yep.
your own interest. I would put it the other way around. So because my credo does it is it a word for you? My credo
Yeah. Yeah.
is if the merchant earns more, I will earn more. So it does not make sense for me to just do the fire and forget thing. Just put their shop and then bye bye and go away.
Yeah.
That does not work because um, you know sales is tough, and I rather like to do it just once and then and the and I think just give it a little bit of time when you, from a merchant point of view, just give it a little bit of time. You will get to know pretty fast if the solution provider, if the
Yeah.
developer is on your side and really wants to help you. Um, this will come on its own, I think.
I agree, and I think it's it is hard. You're 100% right. Yeah. Well, listen, this has been fun, right? This is always a great conversation. I honestly, I was on your website earlier today, and I was just kind of looking around at what you're doing, and I loved you have some banners right on there that talks about going slow to fast and taking complex and making it simple, right? And going from just being a business to rock stars. Let me ask you this: what's next for Integer? What do you see coming? What do you guys get excited about? And what should we all be kind of watching for on the horizon, whether it relates to Integer specifically or e-commerce in general?
Good question. Because we're turning this world upside down. Uh, well,
That's right.
yeah. To be honest, of course, we're a German agency, and we focus more or less 99% on the German market. And B2C wise, the German market is quite tough. A lot of things happened since the pandemic, and the market is. I wouldn't say it's fed up, but a lot of you know it has to it has to. We have to see how things work. So when you have a look at B2C, um, we really will search our corner within Hoover, within super fast shops, within our knowledge of having 10 years of Magento experience and knowing the system better than any other agency. That's the thing we did before. We are better now with Hoover and our experience, but that's number one. The bigger thing where we will develop is where Germany is actually very bad in. Because if you have a look at B2B, to all the B2B companies here, I would say like that 70 to 80%, they are really not digitalized, right? So they
Yeah.
still run around with pen and paper. They still run around with a lot of guys, sales guys, driving within the car to
Yeah.
any village and trying to get clients by just talking and
Just
reading for the
sales,
phone
right?
book.
Just sales on the road. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And this is changing. We have to change. We have to adapt. It's very tough. Like I said before, it's very tough to get new employees, even for the B2B companies. It's very tough because the average age is really getting high. We have, everyone's going to, uh, oh, sorry, don't have the word, Rente, pension. They retire.
Retire. Yep.
A lot of people retire. So what can we do if we don't have the staff, right? If we don't have the staff, what do we do? And so we have to digitalize. And we have a lot of experience in that. We did some B2B cases before, not on purpose, but they just came to us.
They
But
just
now
came
we
up.
will, yeah, yeah. But now we will really attack those cases. We have
Okay.
a very great B2B based Magento based B2B suite, which is called
Yeah.
Proline.
Okay.
It's even better than the Adobe B2B functionalities. To be honest, I'd say,
Amazing.
and we really will attack the market and go forward. And for that, yeah, this will be fun. And for that, we will need a lot of developers, I'm sure.
Well, we stand ready to support wherever we possibly can. You know that. We look forward to it. I've actually had some great feedback around Proline and what you've done, and a lot of the B2B B2B related shops.
Yeah.
And I do think you're right. That'll be fun. So it's safe to say you feel confident Magento and what you can do within Magento for B2B is a great place for a B2B merchant to be.
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, the possibility Magento gives you, the flexibility Magento gives you, that's so important for B2B. As I always say, the paradox thing about B2B e-commerce is that sale is sometimes not the most important thing in B2B. Sometimes it's customer service. Sometimes it's just, giving information to your clients, just to giving him the ease to get information by not picking up the phone, but just, searching through your shop. And of course, we should sell. Of course, the e-commerce shop is there for sale, but it does so much more. And that's why, they are way more complex than B2C shops. And
Yes.
this will be fun because this is challenging and this is fun for us, for our developers. That's what they're good at and what they like to do.
Well, that fits, right? That fits the exact type of customer that Integer serves best,
Yeah.
and that we can dive in from the IT Delight side and support, right? So I love it. I think it's a great way to kind of wrap up, and I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be watching for what B2B sites come next from you guys.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, Christian, thanks for taking the time today. I know it's late in your night at this point, but thank you for all of your efforts and keep up the great work.
You're welcome, Brandon. Thank you for having me. And see you soon.
See ya.